Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of the Lukewarm Cinema Podcast. It's your boy Austin with the other boys.
George.
Crass.
How was the week, guys?
First off, Christian, what's going on? What was up with that?
If you hope for context, you're going to be more disappointed because the universe is chaos.
He's an improver, so he's just a character right now.
Improvateur?
Yeah.
Saboteur.
Saboteur.
I'm going to
An abattoir?
sabotage the Publix deli with my fluids.
All right. Well, goodbye, Subway.
Just kidding. That's satire. That's not a threat. I'm just joking.
Satire.
I would never do that to Publix.
I've always said this because Christian says a lot of outlandish shit, like off camera, because that's just who he is. And like I was making a joke. I was like, his FBI agent is probably like training a new FBI agent. And the new guy's like, shouldn't we do something? He's like, no, he's not going to do anything.
See, guys, this is an example of what to do with somebody who's not that big of a threat. And then Chris gets away with all this.
Yeah, see, either I am never going to hurt a fly or it's a long con. But my cat lawyer tells me to not. He said I shouldn't have even said that. So we're going to say that I never hurt a fly. Okay. And we'll just leave it at that.
Boom.
Boom.
Austin.
Yes.
The week. How was it?
Well, I told you guys I pulled my fucking hamstring playing with my little one at the park. And of course, I got made fun of all week. Haha, you're old.
Ouch.
The dad injury.
Yeah.
That's for sure a dad injury.
To preface this, when I was little, I played flag football and I always got made the punter. I don't know why, except for one year I was center. But I was center / like tight end. So I was like Antonio Gates.
Well, all centers in flag football can go run out and still make catches. So
I think I had like one touchdown in the entire season and I was like,
let's go.
And I think I went home and like put on my Antonio Gates jersey and I was like, I'm the fucking best. But so they always made me punter. But the funny thing was I was super young when I first played football and I thought they said it was a pumper. So I was like, I'm a pumper.
That's hilarious.
And my dad, like to this day, would probably still be like, you're a pumper. But so I was doing it for Rowan. I was kicking the ball because he's a little ball. We go to the park, and Craig Ranch Park is really nice because you can get out and get away from people and like these huge grassy areas. He just likes to run, and also play in the fucking sand. So we gotta like, all right, we'll go play in the sand for a little bit, then we'll go play. But I was kicking the ball, and it was like a little like inflatable ball, but it was like a plastic. It was like that rubber.
Yeah, I know exactly the kind of ball you're talking about.
He has one that's like a little baseball. So we brought it with us and I was kicking it and I was launching it probably like 20, 30 feet in the air because I have ham hocks for legs.
Huge motherfucking punt missiles.
So I'm just bing, and he's like, oh, this is the coolest shit ever. And then like that night I was like, my leg feels a little tight. Actually, no, it was before we even left the park. I was like, I probably shouldn't have done that. I was like, I didn't stretch or anything beforehand. And we get home and I'm like, man, my leg really feels like sore. So the next day I wake up and I was like, I can't like move my leg.
It happens, bro. It happens that fast. Like, I think we've all probably had that one injury that you feel it in the moment and you're like, it doesn't hurt now, but boy, am I going to feel it in about a couple of hours. I've had plenty of those, bro. I know exactly where you're coming from. They're not fun.
Right.
Because you're probably feeling the like side effects right now. Like you just probably feel a little tightness.
Now I feel okay.
Okay.
Like I can walk just fine, but for a few days I had a limp. And like Vanessa's like, let's go to the gym. And I'm like, I can't do anything. Like I could just do weights, like upper body.
Yeah.
But she wants to do like 45 minutes on the bike. I'm like, I'm going to sit there and be like, go team. I can't be sitting there fucking.
Not like Randy Stan's dad.
Stan.
I didn't hear no bell.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought this is America.
2 PBRs in hand.
Hey, ref, I ain't hear no bell.
That's a great episode. I got to watch that one again.
He just wants to fight everybody. I'm going to do that. Like if Rowan ever gets into like, I'm just going to take my shirt off and fucking fight other dads.
It's going to happen. If my childhood is any prediction of what you are going to have to do as a father, there will be a father-son fight at some point in time.
Father-son or father-father?
Well, it's your father gets in a fight and then your son either joins or your son gets in a fight and then see if your son gets in a fight, you can't beat up somebody who's younger. But if you get in a fight with somebody else,
yes, you can. There's nothing stopping you. It's just the repercussions you got to worry about.
True. That is very
Nobody
true.
will stop you in the amount of seconds it takes for you to rock that child.
That is true.
Nobody's that fast.
It's just like Christian's theory about ducks that the government doesn't want you to know about ducks at the park.
that you can just take them.
Yeah.
Who's going to stop you from taking ducks from the park?
Turtles. I took a turtle from kind of crazy.
What? You took a fucking turtle?
Yeah. So in Malibu, me and Cameron,
the rich ass fucking
bro,
turtles.
literally like probably one of the richest parts of Malibu, right? Me and Cameron go have breakfast one morning, like before we went off to the beach one day, because like the Malibu beaches are next level.
That's where
like,
Hannah Montana lived in
Yeah.
the TV show.
bro, literally
They look
gorgeous,
nice.
gorgeous places, right? So they had this one place where we're having breakfast and they had like a turtle pond out front. And my dad's really into turtles. Like if you know my father, he loves turtles. We have a turtle pond in my backyard. He has turtles in his classroom. He even gave me a turtle to have in my
The
classroom.
one that fucking fried up on the carpet.
One died, right? It was post COVID and I hadn't gone and fed him in about like, it was 2 weeks and it was like a week too
But
long,
you said
bro.
he got out of the tank and was like in the middle of
Yeah.
the carpet like a raisin.
Yeah. Oh,
He was like-
not like a raisin, like an overburnt cookie that you just kind of like left in the oven. You weren't sure about.
You know what I imagine? I imagine the scene from the SpongeBob movie where they're sitting there fucking like burning in the sun. It's just
That's it. That's it. No, he was probably calling and just dried up.
Did you tell your
But
kids when
anyways-
you went back to class? Like when you had your Zoom meeting?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I had to let him know. I had to let him
Did
know the
anyone
sad
give
news.
a fuck?
Some of them, you know, like some kids grow an attachment to class pets, which is kind of cool to learn. But anyways, this Malibu turtle, we go back on the last day of our trip and we're like, hey, let's find a, cardboard box. So we went behind like an Albertsons or something, got a cardboard box. And we're like, we're going to take one of these fucking turtles back home to my dad. So we traveled, we took the turtle, put it in a cardboard box. And I did it fast. If I was to go back and look at security tapes, it probably looks super sketch, bro. I hop out of the car, grab a turtle, put it in the box, and just dip. And we're on our way to Vegas. And it survived. And actually, I think it's one of my dad's biggest turtles now. Not even going to lie, because it's been around for 4 years.
Wow, he lives
3 years
You know
now.
what I imagine he just rolls up. He's like, I'm from Malibu, motherfucker. He just fucks up the other turtles.
If I'm not mistaken, he was in charge of killing maybe one or two of the other turtles. That happens. That does happen. But, it's a risk you're willing to take.
Right.
How you got to have some alphas in the tank. It's like in the movie Kicking and Screaming. The dude's only got one fish in the tank and it's a fucking piranha. He's like, he keeps eating all the rest of the fish.
You just put another piranha in there.
And they named him Killer.
All right, George, what about your week? How's your week been?
Pretty good. Can't complain. Been out golfing more lately. It's
You
starting.
motherfucker.
It's been golfing season. I know I get invited by Cameron's brother.
I know.
So he schedules it. So like Cameron's dad usually comes and then Cameron's dad has a friend that usually comes. So that's a foursome already set. So like,
yeah.
I just get tossed into this. So it's been entertaining. I've been playing all right.
I need more golf friends. I think that's what I'm hearing here. I need to go
You
find
do. It's tough to find because like last year I golfed by myself a crap ton. And then I started hanging out with you like towards the summertime. And then we went out a couple of times and then
Well, the three of us went to the golf driving range, and then
Mhm.
I went with you and Alex and Cameron one time.
Yep. But yeah, it's something that's going to pick up and we're for sure going to play. Like it's just a matter of time.
If
now.
I can book you first.
Yeah, I am a very busy person when it comes to the golf world.
I'll get a hold of Alex and be like, yo, we'll just, how about we do back to back?
He
you
would
do
be
that?
down, bro. He would be down. He loves that shit.
Could you do that? I don't see why not.
Yeah, you
just
could.
book like an 8 o'clock and then like a 10 o'clock.
People do that. People play, 36 holes in a day? Fucking people that hate their wives
Wow.
and don't want to go home.
Like lawyers. It's another criminal case.
We saw a dude the other day. He was golfing. He was just horrific. And he kept he was golfing at a slow pace. And the only reason why, I figure you golf at a slow pace is because you're afraid you're going to go home to an angry wife and you just don't want to go home yet. So he's like, I'm just going to take my fucking time out here. You know what I mean? I'm enjoying the day. He was playing every fucking shot. He probably, it was a 300-yard hole. He was probably on shot 4 and he'd only made it about 120 yards. So yeah, he was having a long day. But other than that, school went well. Outside life is going good. And I got my first coronavirus vaccine today, the Moderna. So I feel fine. My arm's sore as hell. The lady did a
You guys didn't
poor
see this,
job.
but he was foaming at the mouth earlier today. Hibby.
They make you sit. So just so you guys know, they make you sit 15 minutes after you get the vaccine. So like you get the vaccine like on the left side of a ballroom, and then you have to go sit on the right side of a ballroom for like 15 minutes. And doctors are walking around and asking you like, oh, how do you feel? You know, move your arm around.
It's the start of a zombie movie, man. All of a sudden, one's just like, rah!
I think the reason they do it is they target. What I noticed is they target a lot of older people.
Oh, the vaccine.
Chris, how was your week? I'm gonna have the hiccups.
Okay, that's okay. That's
Side
fine.
effect.
I figure they're just trying to make sure nobody mutates or whatever or something, or you know. Week was good. I felt kind of weird this week. I don't know why. Can't say.
Because we started playing Daisy again.
No, but Daisy was fun. It was fun getting that online. You know, a game where you look for food until you die or whatever. But you know, we'll get the hang of it. When you play a lot of games, we're gonna dissociate from that. Okay, we're trying to provide him cover. Okay, when you play a lot of games, you're in kind of like loops of like game news, so like updates and stuff.
Right.
And there was a few things that happened. One game they're putting a new character in where he has it's like a shooter game. He has a drone that explodes. So like it's like a little drone that goes through like mouse holes and under doorways.
Dick Cheney.
I thought you were deer. In another game, a character got revealed that nobody likes, like nobody gives a fuck
Or
about.
Smash, right?
Yeah. It's a character that like is really popular in Japan, but not in the West really. Like maybe
What's the name of the character?
Pyra.
Yeah, no.
Wasn't the meme like, oh, it's an anime character, but it's an anime character with big booba.
Yeah. It's a character that like only like the East cares about, like 20% of weebs here in the West. And B, it's like a what somebody might call a Coomer character. It's like, oh, it's a character who's a girl who got popular because like she has fat titties. Like which like it's cool, but like bro,
Or just like what
wasting
It's
these character spots, okay? Like I want some cool ass, I want fucking Donald Duck or something. I don't know. You know, somebody cool, somebody I know. So but like that's kind of a thing that like if you don't play games, like maybe some people don't realize there's like a news in like the game world that's like important, you know?
What if they put like Olaf in?
That'd be see the rule for Smash is it's only video game characters.
He's in Kingdom Hearts 3.
That's true. That's true. But here's the no. It's like this conversation's been had a million times in the community, right? Like, because the joke is like, when are they adding Goku from Dragon Ball Z, right? Which technically he's been in video games because they've made video games of Dragon Ball Z. That's
right.
So, but Nintendo and like the people who develop Smash say, no, that's a stupid loophole. We're not putting fucking Goku in. Which is probably why Olaf doesn't originate from a video game. So they're like, you know, we want to do that.
all right, I'm back.
Okay, so you're going on about how you're...
If you have more to say about your
I'm
week,
back.
go right ahead.
Yeah, well, I was gonna finish with the 15 minutes. Like they target older people to like get them to fill out surveys on how they're feeling extensively, like afterwards. Like I saw specifically like 4 people probably in their 70s plus. And you could see these doctors go up to him and they give him like a little pitch, you know, like, hey, this isn't required by any means, but for data purposes and to like help us collect as much as we possibly can to know like how you're feeling, can you please fill this out and give us your information? So I found that interesting, you know, gives you a little insight. So when you do go get your vaccine, the 15 minutes, by the way, is completely up to you. If you want to leave right after, you could. I waited my 15 just like because I felt like I was on camera, bro. Like, I don't know. Like they're watching you just like as a control group. Like, oh, out of everybody that we told to wait the 15 minutes, this percentage left after 5. This percentage left after 10. I was like, you know, I'm going to stay the
I don't
whole
want to become
15.
a statistic.
Yes. And plus I had really nothing else to do. I had a boring ass work meeting after because I have to proctor the ACTs. So, but that's not fun or interesting at all. So I'm I'm gonna move on now. That was my week in a nutshell.
Well, let's let Chris finish then.
Yeah.
Just been staying at home, routines that I have, just been keeping them up, being like, give some like, it's like even though like I'm at home all the time and I'm just looking for a job, it feels nice to like get like a routine and like, oh, you're going to like do something and be active in this part of the day. And like, it's just like nice. It feels like you didn't waste the day kind of. So I like that. But, the other piece of game news that was relevant, since statistically some of the people that listen to this have to like be into games, right? Games aren't like for nerds anymore. It's like everybody likes them.
Mm-hmm.
Nintendo decided that a game that came out in 2011 on the Wii, it's called The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword.
Right.
They decided we're going to put it on the new console, the Switch. However, we're going to charge $60 for it.
Hell yeah, brother, capitalism.
So the game came out in 2011, and and here's the thing: even when it launched in 2011, it was only like $50. So now, the big like, and this controversy comes up over and over in the games industry because Nintendo keeps doing it for one, but it's like they're like Disney; they shit out gold. So like people are still. I'm going to buy it. I'm going to. Because they've made it HD. It's on the Switch. They've made the controls work better. So I'm like, oh shit. And I like that game has like a special like place in all the games I play. But it's like funny. People are pissed off. They're like, I'm not paying $60 for a game that came out in 2011. You could eat my fucking ass.
That's what a lot of people I feel, at least in my friend group, and it's hilarious because they all say the same thing whenever games are like, I'm not going to get that game when it first released. I'm not paying $60 for like the same 2K that I always get or the same Madden. And it's like, then they wait for it to go on sale like a couple months later. And, that's their prerogative, but it's kind of crazy. If you're just patient, those games go down in price. Like you can find them for cheaper if you're willing to wait a little bit after the popularity wears off.
For sure. And that's why people like when you're on the game consoles, like you're on Xbox or PlayStation, or Nintendo, like they have sales, but like new games take a little while to go down. When you're on fucking PC, for some reason on their platform, bro, shit, they have sales and shit goes down like all the time. Like it's like, oh, buy the whole franchise for $20, like crazy awesome prices. But I've kind of like done that before, and then sometimes just say, fuck it, and then I buy it for $60 anyways.
Yeah, I'm the person. If I'm in the mood, bro, I'll spend the $60. Like I'm not gonna hate myself because it's entertainment. At the end of the day, like it's providing yourself a form of entertainment. And the thing that's kind of crazy to me, and I broke it down to my friend the other day. I'm like, Xboxes and shit should be worth way more, in my opinion, because I play this shit religiously. Like I'm talking daily. Couple hours a day, right? I use this more than my car that I spent like people spend $20,000 on a car, and it's like there's no difference. You know what I mean? You're using it just as much, and it's only you can find this version of Xbox I got was $180, and it's like whoa, should be more. But anyways, we are gonna transition to OnlyFans, or did you want to bring up the Happy Gilmore?
So recently making the rounds, 25 years after the film came out, Happy Gilmore, Adam Sandler took to TikTok and demonstrated his amazing Happy Gilmore drive on the course. But none other than Shooter McGavin,
he
swung back.
He saw it.
He saw back, and he swung back, man. He was like, it's all about the short game, Happy.
Hits a little putt into a cup. I think he did it twice because he's like, the first one's a fluke, and then he hit it.
Oh no, the one I saw, he just straight up did it.
He was just one. It was just one. Okay, I'm thinking of something else.
One time that we saw.
Right. But no, I think this is great, dude.
And so people are speculating that they think Happy Gilmore 2 might come out, which I think would be great if like they were both like retired and like not even in the tour, and they're playing like a amateur like geriatric tournament. And then, like, you get somebody like Seth Rogen, what the fuck out the way?
Dude, bring it like a combination of like the movie The Ringer, like a like the special ed Olympics, but then like they're like the two coaches, like celebrity coaches that help, like build their team.
But Shooter only does it because he's happy doing it.
That bro, there's so many different possibilities. I was thinking, you can have their kids, like if they each, ended up having a kid, then they're coaching their kid to be like the next big thing.
Well, here's the thing, but like Shooter's like such a scum. Like it would be like Happy Gilmore's kid, and Shooter like goes and like gets some kid
adopts
from,
a kid.
Not even adopts, just grabs some kid from like Zimbabwe, and he's like, "You're gonna play golf now."
Yes. Come here.
In my mind, I imagine like it would be Happy and Shooter would both have like they'd like meet at the same club, and like they'd have like a really grudge match, but like they're both super out of their prime and nobody gives a shit anymore. So it's like a petty spat, right? And they're all hyping it up, getting, and they kind of like, they almost suck now. Like that's, just because they're old, they're just old white dudes who golf. And then if Seth Rogen was in it, I feel like maybe he'd be like a caddy or something. Like you're kind of like guy that gets into hijinks.
Yeah, but he's just like, bro, I'm gonna pop these fucking 5 mushrooms all at once while I'm working today.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe like he goes back like to the storeroom or whatever, and he's got like a little stash. Because like, let's be real, as much as you could bargain, Seth Rogen's probably gonna do drugs in this movie. Like,
yeah, probably. Everything all right, George?
So
we had some TikTok problems. By the way, for those of you watching, if you want to see us live stream this, you can see it on George's. Dang,
happens.
Just kidding.
We teased those people on that platform. They got fucking teased.
But we're good now. We're back. We're back.
But yeah, I think overall, hopefully this means that we're getting Happy Gilmore 2.
Yeah. I well, at least I would like to see another Adam Sandler sports flick.
I just want to see Happy Gilmore so we can hear the sound effect when he hits it and Christian can fucking wheeze.
It's so fun. And it was really interesting watching him actually, that video where Adam Sandler's like, I haven't done this in 20 years. All right.
And he just like nothing.
And he just blasts out of the park. The fact that like, that didn't look like a normal swing. He like goes back like a few yards and like steps into it kind of.
Which is what he always did.
Which is like, I'm like, does he really golf like that? Like,
no, he he probably gets asked all the time, do the Happy Gilmore.
Well, I think it's the most like done trick shot in golf ever. Cause like whenever I was with kids, like my friend group in high school and stuff, and then we'd go out, everyone would be like, oh, do a Happy Gilmore shot. Oh, do a Happy Gilmore shot. But like my friend group thinking back on it, even when I would do it and then seeing Happy Gilmore do it, he does so smooth. It's not that many steps. He takes like 1, 2, 3, and then he's hitting. You know what I mean? Some of my friends would fucking do like a 10-yard head start, like running into the ball and like absolutely whiff. There's an art to it though.
Well, it's just a hockey.
He said though,
slap shot.
Somebody said though that, or I'm not sure if it was him or somebody that helped film it. He said that shot went straight down the fairway. Like he actually like really railed that goddamn golf ball. And so I'm hoping that happens.
Yeah, we're hoping. But we'll go ahead and jump into today's topic, which if you're watching this or listening to this, you already know. We're talking about the new I would say not so much documentary, but news hour special called OnlyFans Selling Sexy. It's on Hulu and it was written and directed by ABC News, which was a little odd, but
I think it was a matter of time before some like those kind of big corporations see this as, let's be the first one out there. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because I mean, it was a good documentary, but I feel they only focused on really 4 people, like 4 actually people that were in the industry all throughout.
I think it was just 3.
There was 2 guys, 2 girls. One of the guys didn't get played out.
But they had the girl from Shark Tale. Then they had the
pink haired girl, the chick who had a huge ass. I'm not telling you their names. I don't remember. Okay, they were on the documentary. Leave me alone. And then there's 2 dudes, and I'm a man, so I don't look at their features. Shut up.
So quick synopsis. It's just a new special talking about what is OnlyFans, how celebrities boosted it, and how people don't just do porn on it, but it is very welcoming of the sex worker community. Yeah, we're the sex worker committee.
Hell yeah, bro.
So I want to give this to George because George has a ton of notes. The only thing I have is just a dollar amount, which I'm pretty sure you have written down too. So I'm going to let you take this because you were taking. First of all, George pitched this to us today, so we're like, yeah, let's watch it. And I don't know, is it fair to say I think we should let George take the reins on on this one with his points?
Sure, yeah.
Pony up, Cowboys.
Absolutely.
So, right off the jump, OnlyFans has been something that we've been all seeing over the past year. I feel a lot. What I was going to ask you guys to start off though is what was that other like content creation service? Patreon, right?
That's more for, I've seen that more for like artists. Like that's something we would do.
I feel like Patreon though definitely was kind of like the first, like was a start into.
Yeah, because there were people on there that provided sexual content.
Yes.
For a subscription.
So I remember Patreon, and then I remember, all of a sudden starting to see this switch. You start seeing stuff pop up on Twitter. You know how Twitter's a wild, wild west. They'll freaking ban everybody and their mother, but you could see somebody get anally rammed, no problem.
Yeah, 5 minutes later.
Right. So I started to see it more, at least on Twitter. You'd start to like see people tweeting like, oh, go follow my OnlyFans or click on this link to my OnlyFans and stuff. And then you start to see like this insane growth. You start hearing more people talk about it. And then in the span of about a year, I mean, this thing is taken off more than we ever could have imagined. The thing that really blows my mind is, there's infinite porn on the internet, and there's people that
we've checked.
We've trust me, we've checked.
Chris, I remember coming to Chris's house and I called him. I said, "Hey, I'm here." And he walked outside and he was like kind of like squinting at the sun, and he was all messy. And he goes, "I watched all of it." And I said, "What?" And he goes, "I watched all of it."
That's the night I found horse stuff, dude.
We had to check all boxes before we came on here to talk to you guys. We had to. But that's the thing that blows my mind. It's free. There's so much, and like if you want to get your rocks off, you know what I mean? Even if you want to have a good time, you can go watch free porn for hours, and you don't have to pay anything. The only thing you have to pay is your guilty conscience because, you spent a couple hours doing what you were doing. But there's so many millions of dollars there. And that's why I know you put the dollar sign on there, because I think the whole big underlying of all this is money talks.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It does.
Money talks. So I think I'm going to ask you guys, what was like the biggest, was it a dollar amount that shocked you? Was it, how fast it's coming in? Like what number really stuck out to you? Because they were throwing around money figures like crazy.
For me, it was like the monthly amounts because I only make so much. And I was like, why am I not? Granted, nobody would want to see this, but like the one girl, the one that Christian was like, no wonder why she made 13. She got a dump truck. I think it was either you or you.
It was me. It was me.
She was like, yeah, I made $1,300 off one video. And I was like, what the fuck? I was like, you make almost, on one video, you made almost what I make in a month.
That's a paycheck for me.
Like, that's one that shocked me, was that one right there. That's the first shock, I'd say.
And then she was like, yeah, my goal for 2021 is to average 20,000 a month. And I was telling George, I was like, if I made 20,000 a month, I would live in a Seagull suite for a year and then buy a dream house in cash.
Literally. Briefcase and all.
And then I would literally just save every penny I could from that, still do it, and then just make a super stupid investment portfolio that would make me money for the rest of my life.
It's such a well painted out picture in your head. I know for me for a fact, and this is just George being George. The amount of money that I would spend if I was getting that 15 to 20, I would be spending, like my lifestyle would change, because like you have like a base nut that you have to make every month. I have to pay for this. I have to pay for that. I have to pay for that. The rest, go have fun. You know what I mean? If you save some, phenomenal. If you don't, you're getting paid in 2 weeks anyways. The lifestyle change that I would make, I would honestly, it made me scared because I'm like, if I was seeing those kind of dollars pour in, you have to be very, very careful. And how you go about spending all that. I mean, because I just never.
It's the same for YouTubers though too.
I've never seen that kind of cash. Like I would lose my goddamn mind.
The only time I've ever seen that cash was when I worked for a loan company and I was the manager of cash for the entire company, and I would see $60,000 in front of me, and I'm like, I will probably never see this much cash in my lifetime again, like in one place in front of me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So what would be the first thing you guys go out and buy? Like say you make one video, OnlyFans, right? It goes off. Let's say you guys get 20 grand from it.
Now, do I still have a job, like a normal job that I'm doing under this? Or
Yeah, first thing you buy.
I'm putting as big of a down payment as I can on a house, a modest house. I'm not going to be like, I'm bidding a mansion. No, I'm still going to get like a 2-bedroom house. But my mortgage is going to be like $30 a month.
So house for Austin. What about you, Chris?
You know, I'd have a plan, but I think first I'd splurge on something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Christian goes, I bought a transformer.
I want to hear these splurgy urges you have.
I'd probably... there's a few stupid things that I'd want to buy. I think I'd try to get a really cool guitar. Like a nice Fed. I want to get a Gibson because fuck them. Like they're really nice guitars, but they overprice them. So I just like to make take a stance.
And that's on Carfax, by the way.
Yeah. No, Austin can attest it. Just to say fuck Gibson, I want to buy them. Even though they have really nice guitars, I probably get like a Telecaster or something. Or like maybe just like an American Strat or something.
I would buy Billy Corgan.
I'd buy him and I put him in a little jester outfit and make him have sad makeup on and dance for me.
And sing Butterfly with Bullet Wing or Bullet with Butterfly Wings.
And he'd have to replace Rat in a Cage with minimum wage. But I'd buy that. I think I'd want to buy a really nice. I'm into like vinyl records and stuff. I think I'd buy like a dummy nice setup. Like you'd be taken aback at how like what's the word? How high the ceiling for like how much you could spend on that type of shit can go. Like thousands of dollars, a special tube amp, a special preamplifier, the craziest fucking audio file. Like
buy a needle made out of obsidian from Minecraft. Not real obsidian, just obsidian from Minecraft.
Just like. Which like that was a rabbit hole I fell down. I'm like, bro, you could spend like hundreds of thousands of dollars listening to vinyl records if you were that crazy or rich. If I was rich enough, then I'd do it because that'd be cool. Like analog audio.
Have like a dope ass room and like have a couch set up, some light, just play vibes, bro.
So what about you?
Oh, I would go to Europe and you guys wouldn't hear or see me for about a month and a half. If I got 20 grand, you might not see me for like 3-4 months.
Well, for the sake of the Lukewarm Cinema podcast, we're going to continue to keep George from posting on OnlyFans.
Yeah. Well, at least try, Who knows? My significant other,
sitting there.
Her note was like based on this documentary, I should make an OnlyFans. And I mean, we've talked about this before and, I'm like, you can do a whole bunch of stuff that protects your identity and like you can go to your comfort level. But I mean, like there's a lot of work behind it. And I think they highlighted that in this documentary really well, that these people, this isn't just like us going to play video games after a day of work.
No,
like these people are, preparing photo shoots. Like going out and getting outfits, editing their photos.
It's kind of like this.
Yes, in a way.
I've done some consulting now for other people who want to start up podcasts, and they're always like, "Yeah, you just record it and then upload it." And I'm like, "Well, I mean, yeah, you can, but if you want to stick out, like, so for people who don't know, I know we said this with Joey's podcast when he came on here. This episode will probably take me in full about an hour, and that's to. I mean, if I'm going to count upload and render times, like almost 3 hours. And that's to trim the audio, make it sound nicer, add in all the pre-roll, end roll stuff, and then do the video, line up the video with the audio for YouTube, export it. Exporting it takes like sometimes like an hour. And then I have to upload it to YouTube, and depending on how long, like I think last week's episode was like an hour and 20 minutes, and that took like almost 2 hours to upload.
Yeah.
So I mean, a lot of that is idle time. Like I can sit there and play Madden while it's uploading, and no big deal. But it's still like there's more to do.
That idle time that you'd spend doing that, their idle time is fan engagement, which is a whole nother part. Right. So like it's this whole OnlyFans thing, right? You're as successful as you want to make yourself.
I feel like that's with any content creation though.
I because there is a amount that you need to put into the content itself, but then it's pleasing the people that are paying for your content. We aren't at the level yet, right? Where we have a outside influence on our content. You know, where people are like, oh, we're paying for your shit, so you better not like, you know, like we want to see this, this, and this. And then that would for sure, you know, influence our episodes. So they're having to deal with all of that on top of, you know, uploading content. And, you know, it's like upload content, keep people happy, upload content, keep people happy. And it's like, it's really tiresome. You know, I feel like a lot of these people, although they live, you know, the life that they want, they're not busy at any points in time of the day. You know, that's still a lot of time you have to put into, you know, making what you have to make. So another number that stood out to me as just insanely crazy is the amount of return that these people get. So they get 80%.
Yeah, which is fucking crazy.
It is. They get 80% of whatever their subscription price is, right? And then they take 20%. OnlyFans takes 20%. So I'm going to go ahead and calculate what OnlyFans makes in a month while you guys discuss how insane 80% of freaking.
Well, to give some background for YouTube, we're not at the point of making ad revenue, but we're working on it. We're hoping that we can build a community and get ad revenue. We make like 0.001 cent per like 1,000 views or something like that. Yeah, fucking much. Like, holy shit. Like, that's a lot. Like, I know when I used to stream on Twitch would pay you 50%. So like, you sub for $5, I get $2.50.
Okay.
So you would have to get like, what is it? Like 50 subs to make threshold of $100 to get paid.
Mm-hmm. Now the thing that I have to question here is like, especially on all those Twitch things, I'm not too like
savvy
and all that. How much are you talking for like subscription wise to watch these people?
What do you mean? Like,
because is it everybody on Twitch just free to watch?
Is free.
Yeah, it's free, but if you sub, you get no ads. And then you get special emotes that you can use in chat. And then there's other things.
It's technically, it's kind of a different business model, honestly.
Right.
Okay.
But it's still kind of like Twitch gives you 50%. And then ad revenue, it's like the same thing. They give you like 0.001%.
So I just did the math, right? If OnlyFans is making $250 million a month from the people that are creating their content, they're making 20% of that. So they're making $50 million
or OnlyFans
a month. And it blows my mind because in my head, right, every single time I've seen those OnlyFans things, I'm like, obviously it's tempting, right? You see somebody, you may even know somebody. I think that's when it becomes more tempting, when it's somebody you know. I've seen a lot of
people that we went to school with, and I'm like, oh, you know what, good for you. And I was like, should I? No, I don't. The ass whooping is not worth it.
Yeah, I know. We do have repercussions. Me and Austin do. Chris is free reigns on going on whatever he wants.
That's true. I know one person from school that became a porn star. And I know another person that recently is OnlyFans now. But I don't follow really either of their stuff, but I could, okay?
Well, I know a girl from high school who was in choir, and like she was like she was like, I think she was a grade above us. She was like, her senior, she's like, I'm gonna be in Playboy, and then like a year later,
I know.
Okay, she was in Playboy, and I was like, you know what? Good for you, because you went out and did what you said you were gonna fucking do, and a lot of people who have ambitious goals like that don't. And I was like, you know what? All right, I gotta give it to you on that one.
I think the biggest thing that plays behind all of that, and what you start to see, right, when you start seeing people that you may know, right, that whole morality thing, because that I feel is another huge facet that they hit on pretty well in this documentary, talking about how there's a lot of people who aren't comfortable like being fully nude on OnlyFans.
Right.
Like that one guy, like never showed his junk at all. And he went above and beyond. You know, he would do like completely naked photos, but then like, you know, whether it's blur out or have the shade block himself, like, but you know, you have a lot of money rolling in. all those people that are paying for you are saying like, we want to see this, we want to see that. So then how affected do you think you would be by, you know, people telling you, hey, I want to see you naked. I'm paying for it. So do it.
Oh, I would do it.
I would too.
Money talk.
But I would be doing it from the jump.
I probably would be too. I'd probably do a couple of posts where I'm not doing it and then being like,
yeah.
I want to see my ditties.
Build that like, what the hell is it called? Suspense. Yep. But like morality wise, it's pretty nut. So do you know if the chicks you were with, Chris, or the chicks that posted it, if they were doing like fully nude stuff?
I don't know. Well, the one chick became a porn star. Like she's like on Pornhub, I guess, and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so she's probably getting real, right?
Yeah.
And then the other chick, I don't know. I don't know what she's up to on OnlyFans. So
okay, it just blows my mind that you know, that dude was able to withhold his morals, you know, because you saw one of the girls was like, you know, at first I just started doing this, but then, you know, I started getting a little more comfortable with myself. You know, people hype the hell out of you. You know what I mean? Like if you're a girl and you're posting a sexy video, they said like the ratio was like 5-1. You're going to get 5 comments that are gassing you up beyond belief. And then you're going to get the one guy that says like, fat pig, you got a long ass crack or whatever the hell they were saying there.
Like an appliance.
Dude,
they were going, what a burn.
They were going in on her. But I don't think, at least for me, right? What if you guys, right? Let's say podcast aside, we didn't know each other. You're living alone. You guys are starting an OnlyFans. Where is your comfortability level?
I will show my asshole.
I'd be full go. I'd be full tilt.
See, this is an important angle of the whole thing. I'll tell you about. Like me, I probably want to hang dong. I probably want to do it. But like, who knows? Like maybe first I'm just like, hey, here's some nice like underwear boxer pics. You know, like who like most people don't get like sexually, I guess, like pumped up like that. So then sometimes when you experience them, you realize, oh shit, I could do further shit and it would be badass. Like you got to kind of be like, you know, when you're riding a horse and you got like the carrot on the stick, you know what I mean?
Gotta be a businessman.
Stonks.
Honks.
Conk. But
donk.
That's a big part of it is like different people, for one, like, you know, the toll of like doing it, everybody weighs that toll for themselves. So like you think like, oh, these are all just a bunch of whores and horn dogs or what, you know, like they've already like weighed the embarrassment and some people don't. Some people feel like sexually empowered. And so like you see a lot of like porn stars out there already that are like super proud of what they're doing. And like, yeah, like this is my lifestyle. Like, so I don't know. I think things are very like muddied. Like people think like these are all people who should be ashamed of themselves.
There's a huge jealousy factor that plays into this.
Huge.
And I've been noticing this in myself. I would say I had this realization probably about a year and a half ago. And because I'm never an upset person and I rarely ever am like resentful or hateful towards anyone. But there are some people that I am. So what I did is like I really identified. I was like, why do I not like this person? Or like, you know, what is it that's driving this dislike? And it's 100% for me. Whenever I'm upset at you, it's pure jealousy. You know, it's you're doing something that I want, or you have something that I want, or you know, I just want to have that happen to me.
So George is going to take it.
Not saying that I will take it, because I can be jealous about, you know, Mark Cuban, but I have no influence or like no effort level to want to go and be a shark on Shark Tank. But with these people, you know, you get a whole bunch of people who may be wanting to create content, maybe already are creating content, and seeing that this one person who might be just slightly bit better looking than them is getting way more success than them. So then they just shit on people. And the jealousy factor on OnlyFans is bananas.
It's like under a microscope.
And did you guys realize all those jealousy tweets, what was the name? Anonymous.
Yep.
People hiding behind a fucking screen. Just one.
Well, I think they made it anonymous to hide the identity of the person. I think that's what it was doing.
That is a possibility.
I think
I realize
ABC
that.
was doing that.
But even then,
But it's still a lot of people like under like a meme page or something with like no identity to them, and they're just like, oh, dumb bitch.
mhm.
TikTok. I see this a lot on TikTok. So I watch way too much TikTok, and it'll be like super misogynistic, and I'm like, well, all right, cool. I guess and they're like, yeah, fucking, my wife better not post on OnlyFans or else we're done. And I'm like, oh, okay.
So what would you do if you had like somebody very close to you, whether it's family member or significant other, start being on OnlyFans? Would you like have like a somewhat slight towards them?
No, because they making their money.
I'll say this. If one of my sisters was doing it, or my mother, those are the closest female family members. And I guess that's like a clarification. Like, men do this too. And that's something that I liked about this expose thing, is like they showed that side of it as well. But it's important to note that like the cultural like magnifying glass is being more held up to women because more women are doing this than men. Okay, that's not saying anything about anybody. I'm just saying that they're just like a larger portion. If my sister was doing this, I'd say you should do something better for yourself. That's what I tell her. I'd say like I don't want your like worth to be from, men wanting to see you naked. And I think that comes down to like the overarching like sides to like the whole, I guess, like all the sexual revolution shit is like, yes, especially now in the pandemic, it's awesome that like wealth is being liberated in these really cool niche ways. Like chicks can post pictures of themselves online. And it was like when they were comparing it with like old like dinosaur like porn industry, like you don't have to
dinosaur porn.
Yeah, because it's like we were talking about like ABC. We're surprised ABC did this. They're like a dinosaur, but maybe with this documentary they're trying to like keep up to date. But
well, it was on Hulu, so
okay. Like the porn stars have to give all their money to producers, and they have to play this very narrow game and do things they don't want to. OnlyFans, it says, oh, we'll take 20% and you could do whatever you fucking want. And they don't censor. Like they don't censor it. Like I don't think anybody's going to be like inciting violence on there, like a Twitter thing. I don't think that's going to happen on OnlyFans.
It's not Parler.
So, but anyways, like dude, fucking, they're ballers for the fact that they're not like sucking anybody's cock. You know what I mean? They're like, no, you can post whatever the fuck you want. But my point is, there's always going to be a social stigma around sex culture, and it's a weird thing because on one hand we need to liberate sex, and on the other hand there's the fear of like veering over the edge and like going somewhere we can't return
Turning
from.
into like a Mad Max, like we turn into some bonobos and we're just like fucking everybody we see.
Yeah,
that would be the extreme. That'd be the extreme that Chris is talking about.
Interesting. A new plot for my movie.
It's crazy. I just want to touch on this because I wrote the note. That one lady who's like a MILF, I guess you could say,
the shark from Sharknado,
who is making like $15,000 a month, right?
Oh yeah, she's fucking raking in
She
money.
was saying that she, like, on average, like she can do everything she was doing at home, like Chris said, and that's the beauty of OnlyFans. But she was spending 8 hours on porn set. You know what I mean? Like, people, I think, have this conception that people just go in and they just film them fucking, but like it's a true.
It's like filming a film. It's legit.
Yes.
Like filming a film. They do different takes.
Mm-hmm.
They do like, oh, we gotta do makeup again. Yo, her titty's falling off. Can we fix that?
Yep.
It's like a hard day on set. Like they get there, in the morning, and they have to do all this shit. Wait for all the personnel to arrive. The fucking runaround. Like it's a hard deal.
Yeah, and I mean that's it's just something great. I think the liberating thing that's awesome that I think a lot of these people are doing is they're really just turning it into like this whole sort of business model. Because it's not just people uploading content. There's that one chick that I'm just talking about was giving away dates.
Yeah.
She would do like my boyfriend of the week, and then like show them like extra. It's just like little extra incentives to get people coming back.
The simps are strong on OnlyFans.
I have like a negative and positive on what you said, George. Like the first thing when she said that, I thought she's not doing like one guy a week. She's doing like, she's probably like taking them all on like as much as she can like get them in.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like, oh, you're my one guy a week.
Well, she probably
Wink.
posts it like,
Right.
oh, my boyfriend of the week is so and so. Message me for your free T-shirt.
But I don't know. Okay, and that's the negative. Like that was just like, you know, my suspicion. The positive are like the more like analytical side of things is like that's a thing where like they tried to make the point clear that with porn and like getting your stuff off, okay? Sometimes
Christian's not here to judge.
people don't just want to like, they said like, yo, you don't just want to like turn on a video and like have that be it. People want like an interaction. And like in the beginning of the like whole documentary, some lady said people are just here for the connection. And like I laughed when it was put that way, because I'm like, no, they're here to beat off. Like, and you know what I mean? Like, okay. And but what I noticed is in porn currently, people are looking for that. Like, obviously people sex, but that's more like that's not like really, that's like more like in person than like that type of stuff. But like, look all these cam sites, right? Where people are like, it's kind of like it's like Twitch streaming. You know, people have
Right.
they talk to each other. You know, I give you money and I send my message and I can request that you do certain things.
I send you $10,000 Pokemon. Will you be my girlfriend?
And she ignores it.
Well, she was like, she left. She went to the bathroom and it read the message out. And then she comes back and she's like, all right, guys, we're coming back. Have you not seen this video?
I have not.
You know who Pokimane is?
I don't.
So she's a huge Twitch streamer, and like dudes are fucking psychotic with her. Like, she has a boyfriend, and guys are like furious.
I would imagine
they
she's probably a pretty hot gamer. Probably some huge jugs on her. Am I right?
No, she's very petite.
Oh, okay.
But
Probably
she,
cute face though.
yeah, she's very, very attractive. But like dudes go so hard on her, like they were like, "Oh, you have a boyfriend? This is not acceptable. Like, I give you $10,000, you're my girlfriend." And she's like, "No, that's not how that works."
That's a crazy.
And dudes will drop like
crazy.
10K on her like that.
That's nuts, bro. That's nuts. You know what you could do with $10,000? You don't. 'Cause
No,
you're
but I'm
fucking
gonna find
spending
out.
it on Twitch. Fucking A. Oh my gosh.
So for me though, like I always feel like, who the fuck has that much money?
Truthfully.
Like, but then it's like I shouldn't judge. You know, you never know. And then there's like, you know, people in like Saudi Arabia that are just fucking blowing money because what else are they gonna do? Their dad owns an oil refinery or whatever, and they're just like, I have 15 tigers in a Lambo.
It was probably like I would imagine some of those people that, you know, if you're online a lot, I mean, the people steal credit card numbers like crazy.
Oh, yeah.
I bet that's I bet credit card fraud's like nuts on OnlyFans.
God, I hope my credit cards don't end up on it.
Oh God.
That would be the worst like identity theft type thing ever. Is like,
I just gave Bill Delphine $300 off your credit card on OnlyFans, and then your wife's like, "What the fuck is this?"
you're really in the fucking doghouse, not just
Try
financially.
explaining that. I can't even begin to be like, you could start tying the other. See, at 12:01, honey, when the transfer went through, I was actually taking a shit. So I wasn't even near my phone. It was charging.
But like, it doesn't have
know.
a text from you at 12:02 saying, "Yeah, we can go to your in-laws."
You're a liar. Oh my goodness. So I put a note here and maybe you guys can help me get to the point that I was trying to get to. I put, this is some Salem witch trials type shit. And I think it was about
The girl who got fired from her job.
yes.
She got fired from her job.
That was it.
She worked as a mechanic. She got fired from her job because it was distracting for the male employees, which I think is bullshit. I think they should have just as much blame over it as she does. It's not like she's doing it at work. She was doing it at home on like off hours.
There was, hold on, but we just, in all fairness, in the documentary, you do see her, like, I don't know if it was just for the documentary. Did she like had some videos of her working on
Yeah.
cars?
That was her with her new outfit though, like her new jumpsuit, like her new work. So her new
Yeah.
work's probably like, we don't give a fuck. You giving us publicity? Good,
For real.
good bitches in here.
I can only imagine how that casting couch, interview went.
Oh, fighting misogyny with misogyny.
That was wrong. I'm sorry.
I thought it was really, because like I'm somebody who's on both sides. Like, I'm more like when I'm joking around, like I'm a more of a right-leaning person, okay? And I'm like, wow, look at all these fucking e-thoughts. I thought the thought audit was funny as fuck. Do you guys remember the thought audit?
Yeah.
I don't.
So basically, people on OnlyFans and whatever other services.
I want to say it was pre-OnlyFans because it was only Snapchat. Like girls were selling.
I think you're right. I think it was on like Snapchat and other websites that people went through. Chicks were already like selling pictures and stuff of themselves. And that's income you're supposed to report to the IRS on your like return or whatever when you're filing. And like it's like if somebody like hands you $20, like you're not gonna fucking report that. So what did trolls on the internet do? They said we're gonna like look them up and report them to the IRS.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and they were doing this, but these people though, it wasn't like $20. Like some of these people were making like thousands a month on premium.
Yeah, they're
Snapchats.
making a lot of money. They're making a lot of money.
Oh, for sure. And typically the people, at least the people that I know that have started a premium Snapchat, they would never report that stuff to the IRS. Like,
why would you? There's no tracking it.
Really? Like,
but I mean, like, to be fair though, like some of the girls that were getting audited were ones that were like talking shit and be like, oh yeah, well I make more money than you on my premium Snapchat. And they're like, oh bet. And then you see like a post from them the next day and be like, guys, what the fuck? The IRS just sent me a letter. Now I have to give them all of my tax info, my income.
Look, it was like fucked up, but it was funny because like culturally, like there's a like the positive sexual liberation aspect of things where it's like we're like too like stiff for like dumb reasons. Then there's like the angle of like people are like really cringy and embarrassing, so we're gonna fuck with them. Like the term e-thought, right? That's definitely a term that's like within my circle. Like Pokimane is an e-thought, right?
Belle Delphine is an e.
Belle Delphine is she's like an e-thought. Like they have like that like I'm a gamer girl like type aesthetic, and like that's how they market themselves. And it's kind of like I don't know that like them doing it is just as cringe as like their simp armies are. Which I mean that gets into like the whole thing. Like as like much as you want to fling fucking tomatoes and witch hunt these women, there's a demand by these fucking guys.
Yeah.
I want to comment on your thing though, because I like when I'm like a tangent.
Yeah. You started coming back to it.
That was fucking cringy. How? So you went home, looked at her OnlyFans, went to work, and then said, we're distracted." She kept her personal life not at work. Okay, and that's like I think that's like yeah. There's always going to be a social stigma, but like really you're going to fire her? That's that like negative conservative side of things.
Yeah,
that I don't like. I'm like, really, you're going to fire her from her fucking job? Like, I don't like that.
First off, she didn't need your job. Like she like I think that was a chick that genuinely
she
enjoyed.
wants to have her own like race cars.
Yes. Yeah, and it was I couldn't think of it. It was just my very first thought was like, oh, this is Salem witch trials all over again. Those witches have powers and they won't tell us, how they're getting them, or they won't like, assist us, like, I don't know. Maybe if you would have let her fucking film some of her content in your garage, you would have got some more business. You know what I mean? But they're so quick to the
judgmentalness.
And it's back to jealousy. You're doing better than me. I don't like what you're doing. So get the fuck out of my shop. And that's not right. That's not right. Nope. And it's almost, it's going to be like one of those things that companies now have to start worrying about. Like you can't fire somebody for content that they create outside of work, except for stuff that reaches a point, right? Where, if you're doing,
which when the news company went and asked about that, they said, no, we didn't fire her for that. We fired her for policy, breach of policy.
Which is bullshit.
It's just an HR term. And then Christian was like, well, they can't do that. I'm like, well, here in the state of Nevada, they can, because it's a right to work state. And I know a lot of other states are. So like they could straight up just fire you because your hair is blue.
Mm-hmm.
Or they could just be like, I don't like you. So I'm going to fire you and say, oh, it's for breach of policy. But it's because we're a right to work
state. She did say it was a conservative area. So like.
Yeah, she was in Indiana.
I think that's what they said. It's Indiana.
Probably.
So George, not to cut you off, but we are running a little low on time. But I
got like one last point.
Oh, okay,
so.
Perfect. Because I want to get your last point in, and then I want to hear from all of us and get our rating on this documentary. Because I know we're doing good on the documentaries. We've been doing a lot of
God, they're
documentaries.
fun. They are a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we love the comedies. We love the dramatic movies. We also love just fucking being like, let's learn. Oh, that shit's scary. I'm gonna go back to not reality.
Dude, I've been telling everybody about our cartel episode. Our last episode, please go watch it. It is probably one of the most informative episodes that we've
It's
ever
a crazy
done.
one, and it's not even like like a dent in the iceberg.
Right.
Not
Right.
like the tip. It's like not even like a millimeter of iceberg. That the shit that Vice. Like that day, like that weekend, and up until like Tuesday, I was still watching just a ton of Vice stuff.
That's all I've been on this past week.
I have to sometimes get away from that because I'll get really like depressed and really like it'll be really existential to be like, damn, this world is really fucked, and like my world as I know it could be over like any minute.
Mhm.
So I'm like, I'm gonna go back to watching fucking
Onlyfans.
watching Wang videos.
Yeah, I love those.
Oh, man.
So yeah, give us your final point because I
Yeah,
definitely want to hear what you have to say because you were taking a ton of notes.
This is just the very last thing. You know, obviously we hit the numbers. We didn't touch on Bella Thorne, but I mean it's kind of crazy. We can do it really quick. She made $1 million in a day, and it really helped sensationalize OnlyFans because everyone's like, whoa, you can make $1 million in a day. And so like OnlyFans gets put all over the news. But a lot of people, including, like you, Austin, you were not the biggest fan of this because it's taking money away from
So
a lot of other creators.
A lot of what I heard, because the Twitter that I used to have, I go into these spurts where I get Twitter, I download it, and I have an account, and then I delete it. I'm like, I get like another scent of existentialism. I'm like, I can't do this. During that time, though, I had a Twitter account, and I had friends who were either like sex workers or friends with sex workers, and they were just lighting up my feed about like, they're delaying my payment because they can't afford to pay out because they're paying. It's kind of like the Robin Hood thing. We can't afford to pay out because we got to pay out Bella Thorne. And then they used to be able to do like $100 pay-per-view. Now you can only do $25 pay-per-view.
That's nuts.
Yeah. So they didn't talk about that in the documentary. OnlyFans cracked down on, like they really limited the creator.
And I think the reason why we didn't get as much OnlyFans corporate business motto talk is they declined.
Yeah, they declined, which is smart though. They declined any
smart.
interview. They just gave a statement and they were
Very
like,
smart.
"We love our sex workers. Continue making money for us, please."
Going into the Bella Thorne thing, because that was like another major beat in this whole, like everybody kind of has like the OnlyFans thing on a back burner. It's like this interesting thing that's unfolding. Bella Thorne, right? What happened was she went on there, she put her thing up, right? And then they said, oh, like, we can't handle like this. We never had this type of like money come through and all that shit. And so what happened is they limited the amount of money that the actual user base could make. So then Bella Thorne just fucked off because ultimately this doesn't matter to her. She's an actress. She can make money wherever she wants. Like she was on Disney Channel. She's in all these films. She's she gets around.
She's an award-winning porn director.
So what looked bad about it was the fact that she dipped out. She fucked things up for everybody. Now you could say like, who could have thought that would happen? Which you can definitely give her that, right? But then she started to like make up like these kind of like sympathy stories like, oh, it's to legitimize sex work. They needed me to do that.
Research for a film that I'm actually not going to film.
And get research for the movie. She made up all these reasons when like I don't think she looked that far into it. I think she just fucking Beyblade let her rip. Like I don't care, you know?
Yeah.
Well, did you see? Because they said like it would be. She was like, "I'm sorry, I don't want to cause any more harm," but like she never canceled her OnlyFans. She still posts there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's kind. I don't know. It's really like it left.
She
kind of just came in, monopolized, like capitalized on it, and then just fucked off and was like, "Haha, I made all this money."
But she didn't fuck off, and that was her issue.
Yeah.
Because I post it, I continue to post, and I don't care what anybody else thinks. Okay. The people that people should be really upset about is the, hundreds of thousands of people that were buying that goddamn video.
Oh, well, you know what else happened?
That's who everyone needs to be mad at, and not
she
her.
tainted a lot of people's like tastes for OnlyFans. They're like, oh, I got fucking scammed because I wanted to see, nudity, and I didn't get that.
Mm-hmm.
And I know like a lot of people that were like, fuck this, I'm never gonna buy another OnlyFans. And it did help with some customers. Obviously, it did because OnlyFans is doing better than ever. but it also diverted a lot of people too. They're like, I don't really like this.
I think she was at the point in time where she had like a whole bunch of darts in her hand, and she was like, okay, let me just write a whole bunch of different apologies, and then I'm just gonna and just chuck them out there. And had she right before she chucked that just been like, I don't need to apologize for anything. I don't need to explain anything. I can just go on with my life, and then allow everybody to live in this gray area where it's like, oh, did she do this because of that? We'll never know.
Right. If she was
nobody cares.
But she apologized, and then because of the fact like everybody was like, okay, well, you apologize, like you're just doing research. Okay, research is over. You can leave now. But then she's like, no, I'm gonna stay, make my money.
Yeah. Yeah, bro.
So I think a lot of people were like, because like there was other celebrities like Cardi B was on there. She never showed nudity.
Every Cardi B music video
has nudity though. So
is exactly
and you can also
that.
see her nudity because she worked as a stripper for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me, a sex worker in Miami. No, New York. I think she's from New York.
Yeah, she's a Bronx chick.
Okay, that's definitely a sidebar, right? Besides just Onlyfans, like our whole culture is getting more like commercially sexualized. And like, I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, it was never like that. It was never like, you look at like films and music and even video games, you're going to see how sexualized it's been in past decades. But like, we're like peeling back the skin and it's becoming more sexualized. And like, you obviously get into that dialogue. Is it good? Is it bad? Well, bro, tell me fucking why Cardi B and Nicki Minaj's little fucking like
Meg Thee Stallion.
They're well, her too, but I'm just talking about Nicki Minaj and Cardi B because they're like,
oh right.
They're in this very same niche, right? Where like they make like hip hop, like rap music, where they talk about Cardi B talks about her pussy, Nicki Minaj talks about her butt cheeks. Okay, and you know the moral fiber of that I think is like shit, right? Free country, but you know, like I see my little sister, my little cousin rapping the fucking lyrics to the booty song and the pussy song. That's bad. Don't like it. Fuck that. Like, and so that part of the culture, I don't like. Anything that seeps anywhere like near those levels, don't fucking like it. And that's a big part of this. So that's my thought.
All right, so we'll go ahead and I think we were doing grapes. No, that was for TV shows. Documentaries are still doing pineapples.
Okay.
It was TV shows that we were doing grapes.
Yes.
Because they were episodes. It was like a grape bunch.
Mm-hmm.
So George, go ahead and we'll go brief because I know our camera's going to die.
Pineapples wise, I give this a 3.75 pineapples. Left me a lot more wanting to be figured out behind the whole corporate scheme behind OnlyFans, but I get the gist from real first person primary source perspective on how this affects those people's everyday lives. I want to now make an OnlyFans because I watched this documentary. But yeah, so 3.75 for George.
All right, Christian.
Okay. It was a good documentary. I liked it. Like we've just been kind of like monitoring this whole OnlyFans thing for a year or so or whatever it's been. And this kind of just like took it and said, it just made a little quick 50-minute, like, here's what's happened. You know, here's all the important beats. Here's some things maybe you didn't know. Here's some perspectives of the people who are actually using it. You know, some celebrity perspectives. I thought it was really enlightening. And I definitely saw some new perspectives. So this, like a 3.5. It was pretty good. I liked it.
For sure. All right. I'm going to give it a 3.5. It was definitely interesting and it was cool. I mean, it wasn't like it didn't necessarily pique my interest. Like, oh, great. This is like, I absolutely want to see, but I was like, I'll watch this. This seems somewhat interesting. It was cool to see the numbers. Because like I know YouTube, it's very like taboo. Like they won't let you talk about your numbers, what you make. So I was like, that's fucking wild. I'll probably never have that much money. But 3.5, I thought it was pretty good. Thanks for listening to this episode, everybody. You know where to find us. Lukewarm Cinema Podcast. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok.
Yup.
YouTube.
I will make sure we're live streaming TikTok. We
should be, hopefully by next episode, we'll be live streaming on YouTube.
Perfect. Yes.
We should be able to
get that rocking and rolling, brother.
Yeah. So thanks to everybody who's been watching this on YouTube. Thanks to everybody who's been listening to us. And yeah.
We appreciate the hell out of you guys.
Yeah. If you guys want to yell at us, lukewarmcinemapodcast@gmail.com. And until next time, guys, Jinkui.
Jinkui.